They disrespected you, didn't they? They thought you'd snap, fight back, plead for fairness. But you didn't. And that silence? It's destroying them. You see, people thrive on reactions. They live for the chaos they create, hoping you'll give them the satisfaction of seeing you hurt, angry, or broken. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to play their game, you take away their power. Disrespect is meant to provoke. It's a weapon, a way to get under your skin and force you to react. But here's the thing. They're not ready for what happens when you don't. Your silence is louder than any argument. It speaks volumes without saying a word. It shows them that their words, their actions, their disrespect mean nothing to you. And that's the ultimate revenge. It makes them question themselves, wonder if they've lost their grip, their influence. It forces them to sit with their own insecurities, their own failures, without your reaction to distract them. Now, they're the ones who feel small, irrelevant, powerless, because nothing terrifies them more than being ignored. And here's the best part. While they're drowning in their own regret, you're rising, stronger, smarter, unshaken. They smile at you. They nod when you speak. They say, "I'm here if you need me." But how often do those words mean what you think they do? Connection feels real. It feels strong, but most of the time it's surface level, a thin layer of pleasantries hiding what's really beneath. Self-interest. People connect because it benefits them. It fills their voids. It feeds their egos. But when the cost outweighs the gain, those connections crumble. You've seen it happen. When you needed them most, suddenly, they were busy, and yet you cling to it. Why? Because society tells you to. Because movies, songs, and endless advice tell you, you can't do it alone. But they never warn you about the cost of dependence, the heartbreak of expecting someone to show up, and watching them walk away instead. There's a reason solitude is feared. It forces you to ask hard questions. It doesn't let you hide behind distractions or the false comfort of shallow relationships. It pushes you to face yourself, to confront the silence most people run from. But here's the paradox. The more you embrace solitude, the less alone you feel, because solitude doesn't judge you. It doesn't leave when things get messy. It stays. It listens. It gives you the space to process, to grow, to build a foundation so strong, no betrayal, no abandonment can shake it. Look back on your life, the times you've risen from failure, the moments you've overcome the impossible. Was it because someone carried you? Or was it because deep down, you found something in yourself? Something the world couldn't take away? That's the power of solitude. It strips away the noise, the lies, the illusion of connection. It leaves you with the raw truth. You are stronger than you think. But strength comes at a cost. Are you willing to pay it? Or will you keep searching for answers in the faces of others, knowing they've let you down before and will again? Hold on. The most uncomfortable truths are waiting for you. The silence scares most people. It's raw, unfiltered, and honest. When there's no one else around, there's no one to blame, no one to distract you from the things you'd rather ignore. But that's exactly where transformation begins. Think about it. When you strip away the noise, the excuses, the comforting lies, what's left? You. Only you. And for many, that's terrifying. Because we've been taught to fear our own company. Why? Because solitude reveals the cracks we pretend aren't there. It forces you to confront every failure, every insecurity, every unspoken fear. And most people aren't ready for that. But those who are, they unlock a strength no one can take away. Solitude doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. Into the silence, you learn to face the chaos in your mind. You stop relying on others to validate you. You stop searching for meaning in fleeting connections. Instead, you build something solid, something unshakable. And here's the irony. The more you embrace solitude, the less lonely you feel. Because solitude isn't about isolation, it's about independence. It's about finding strength within yourself, instead of begging for it from others. Think about the strongest moments in your life, the times you surprised even yourself. Were they handed to you by others, or did they come from a quiet resolve you didn't know you had? This is what solitude gives you. Clarity, strength, self-awareness, the ability to stand tall even when the world tries to knock you down. And yet, the world still tells you to fear it, to drown it out with noise, distractions, and shallow connections. But why? Is it because they want you to stay weak, dependent? The question isn't whether solitude is hard. It is. The question is whether you're willing to face it, to embrace its honesty, to use it as a weapon to rise above the illusions others cling to. So, are you ready? Or will you let the fear of silence keep you chained? The path forward will demand more from you than you've ever given. The world thrives on illusions. The illusion of companionship, the illusion of certainty, the illusion that someone, somewhere, will save you. But here's the harsh truth. No one is coming to save you. And that's exactly why you need to save yourself. Think about the promises you've heard. I'll always be there. You can count on me. Those words feel good, don't they? But they're just that. Words. Fragile, empty, easily broken when life becomes inconvenient. The illusion of company is comforting, but it's a trap. It keeps you tethered to false hopes, dependent on people who can't shoulder your burdens. And the more you depend, the more powerless you feel when they disappear. Solitude, on the other hand, is brutal. It doesn't coddle you. It doesn't lie. But it gives you something far more valuable. Freedom. The freedom to rely on no one but yourself. When you stop chasing the illusion, everything changes. You stop waiting for others to validate your worth. You stop begging for love, attention, or approval. Instead, you build your own foundation. And here's where the real power lies. Once you master solitude, no one can control you. You're not afraid of being abandoned. You're not shattered by rejection. Because you've already faced the hardest truth there is. You are your only true ally. But make no mistake, this path isn't easy. It will demand everything from you. The courage to face yourself, the patience to sit with your pain, the strength to rebuild your life brick by brick, without leaning on others to hold it together. Most people won't take this path. They'll cling to their illusions, convincing themselves that this time things will be different. But it won't. Because illusions, by their nature, always shatter. So, the choice is yours. Will you keep chasing shadows, hoping they'll solidify? Or will you step into the silence and find the strength waiting there? The final truth is near, and it might be the hardest one yet. They thought they had the upper hand. They thought their disrespect would shake you, break you, and force you into a reaction. But your silence has shown them something they never expected, that you are untouchable. Revenge isn't about shouting louder or fighting harder. It's about showing them they don't matter. Your silence after their disrespect isn't weakness. It's a statement. It's a reminder that their actions don't control you, their words don't define you, and their opinions have no power over your life. While they spiral, consumed by the void you've left, you're moving forward. You're thriving in the quiet, building yourself into someone they can't reach, someone they can't provoke, someone they'll never understand. And that's what kills them. Not your anger, not your retaliation, but your indifference. Remember, silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's the presence of strength. It's knowing when to walk away. It's choosing your peace over their chaos. So, the next time someone disrespects you, don't fight. Don't explain. Don't react. Let them drown in the silence. Let it echo louder than any words you could ever say. Because the greatest revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's showing them you don't need to. Stay silent, stay strong, and watch them crumble under the weight of your quiet power. Now ask yourself, will you let their disrespect shake you? Or will you let your silence be the answer they can't escape? The choice is yours. Make it count.